From the cutting edge of anomaly research, you are about to experience The Evidence with your host, 3D pioneer and image analyst with Mars X3D, D.W. Gannett.
Well, hello there, and welcome to episode 130 of The Evidence. This is your buddy Dave over at Mars X3D, and just a reminder, if you don't know how to do X3D viewing, there's a link down below. You can learn it in a couple of minutes if you have normal 3D vision. For most people, it's quite an enlightening experience when you get it, to see your entire screen turn into a 3D window onto the surface of Mars. If you don't know X3D viewing and choose not to learn it, then really this channel isn't for you. It won't make any sense. You may wish to look at the flat images, I don't know, but it's meant to be viewed in full stereoscopic 3D. There's an image that's made a little bit of a splash over the last week. It's a borehole that NASA has made with Percy, and I'm putting a link down below where you can read what NASA was doing. So no, this isn't an animal burrow, it isn't an ant hill, it's not a snake hill or a crawdad hill, it's just the borehole that Percy made. And we're going to jump into an OOGI Parade right off the bat. A real quick look at some things that may or may not be anomalies that have been magnified considerably. So they're a little bit blurry, but you know it's worth looking at, and you be the judge. See if you think any of these are worthy of be calling artifacts. And of course we will get to some really good stuff in just a moment. So thanks for stopping by, and here we go. First off, little eye candy from 3D artist William Turner, who specializes in what are called flame fractals. There's a link down below where you can check out his Facebook page. If you like things of this nature, boy, there's a real smorgasbord over there, so be sure to go check him out. We'll start things off today with an OOGI Parade. Some of you will remember that an OOGI stands for Object of Geological Interest, and we're going to be looking at Perseverance 395 East, a beautiful GMAC by Nev T. Now look down below in the description for the link. All of the things you're about to see are clearly marked on the GMAC, and if you want to check them out, I'll just head on over there. But let's get going with a minimum of commentary. That one on the left, it's kind of like you're looking up Kevin Bacon's nose. There's another one a lot like that coming up in just a moment. Remember Kevin Bacon's nose? There it is on the upper right with the vertical arrow. It's a little bit lighter than the other one, and as you come around clockwise, that next arrow looks like a black skull peeking out of the sand, and then the next one is something full of holes, weird holes, and then above that a cylinder just sitting there, and then the one at the 12 o'clock position is clearly non-fractal. It's not really an OOGI because it's a rhomboid with also 90-degree angles incorporated and a perfect arch. I'm going to call this last one an OOGI just so I don't have to think about it anymore. Let's move on to some actual anomalies. Here's a GMAC of 395 Northeast done by Neil Spence, and I was attracted by the item inside of the box. Take a good look at it. Besides the 90-degree angles and that smoothly rounded top, I'm pointing at a fold there. It almost appears like that was metal that was folded over. And Definitely not a mineral. I don't see how that could form. Here's one an anonymous avatar pointed out. In 3423, Nev's GMAC of that particular sol, and as we get in closer, you'll see why I call it mouse in the house. Look at all those mouse holes all around the bottom edge of this rock, if it is a rock. They're all the same size, pretty much, all pretty symmetrical, and the one in the center has kind of a lip around it. So, is this some kind of burrowing creature? Is it a decorative piece that is upside down, perhaps, or broken off of a building? Hard to say, but it did remind me of another one that I saw earlier, maybe a year or two ago. See what I mean? Same shape, same little lip around the hole, and as a matter of fact, this is about the same size as the holes that we saw in the previous slide. So whether it's a critter making this, or a little humanoid, or it's architectural, or maybe it's just geological, but it doesn't seem that way to me. See that big chunk of rock off there on the hillside? That's about 4 feet square, and we need to get in and have a closer look. We have a large square block, which obviously has been broken and eroded. So is that carving on the surface? It seems unusually regular with the circles and lines and things that we do observe there. And of course there are the multitude of 90-degree angles. That rock in back of it too is a very perfectly formed rhomboid on the end. Makes me think that's also a building block. So Dave, you're just seeing things, that's just geology, but before we leave it, take a look at this. Look up in the upper left-hand corner. The white arrow is pointing out a perfectly rectangular block. Look at those flawless 90-degree angles in 3 dimensions. So this tells me, given what we see surrounding this block, that these are ruins, these are portions of a destroyed building. My buddy TJ, Thomas Mikey Jensen, has made any number of very important discoveries over the years, and you'll want to check out his link down below for Space Link TV. You need to check it out. Pretty cool. Anyway, look down there in the lower left and let's get a little bit closer. Now you'd have to be blind to ignore the rigidly perfect 90-degree angles and rectangular shape in the recessed surface. You know what this looks like to me? This looks like what's called a splash block, what you put under downspouts or places where water is collected or gathered or rechanneled. So another wonderful find by TJ. Here's a great find by Andrew Lane. It's simple, it's close, it's clear, and it really does appear to be a well-formed stucco-covered wall and with a couple of seams in it. So let me rotate this to put it more in perspective. Maybe this is a little bit easier to understand for some of you. It does put it in perspective. And, it's really hard to think that that's anything but a wall. Now, could it be explained by a geological process? Well, I believe it could. But, everything's so symmetrical. The angles are so clean. It just seems artificial to me. We'll wrap things up today with an intriguing find by Rami Bar Ilan, straight from Percy, Sol 96. Now, what is it? Well, I don't know, but it doesn't look natural. But wait, as they say, there's more. So, now, what do you say? 3 images that are in many ways very close to being identical. And the one on the right, it really looks like a hooded monk to me, but more importantly, see the position of the head? And, well, let me just get straight to the bottom line. This looks like a typical Madonna and child pose. You know, a mother holding a baby and looking down fondly at it. Everything's badly eroded, and it may not, of course, be what it is at all. It might not be a statue, but isn't it curious that we have these three different items that look so similar? Well done, Rami. Hey, thanks for stopping by today. And if you saw something you liked, please consider leaving a thumbs up. It sure helps me out. And if you want to maybe possibly consider helping to support this work, click on the join button. No obligation there. And you can see how easy and inexpensive it is to help this work continue to go forward. For all you proud weirdos out there, you know who you are. Stay safe and stay weird. This is your buddy Dave over at Mars X3D. Be well.